Okay, everybody. My name is Desiree Mapp. We're still rolling camera with Getting to Know. We're going to talk to Bryan from the Duncanville Comic Book Show. From the Duncanville Comic Book Store. Thank you for allowing us to come in and get set up today.
Oh, not at all. Me and Byron have become really good friends through the store, brothers in Christ and things like that. So to give him the opportunity to do this and let people know more about him is a pleasure for us. And hey, free publicity for the store.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long have you been working here? How long have you been a part?
It'll be 4 years in October.
What do you find that people are most interested in?
Well, the neat thing about our store is that we have such an eclectic or diverse inventory that we have people who get excited about various different things. We have our comic book collectors. We have our people who are really interested in the board games. We have our guys who are really interested in the toys, the statues and things like that. We have so many different things. So we get all types coming in here. And some of it crosses over sometimes. Sometimes they're really into comics and toys, or they're really into board games and the statues, So there's not any one thing I will say was more over than anything else. I mean, obviously we deal more in the comics than we do anything else because we enjoy the older comics. The owner, Andy McMahon, is a fan of old comics and comics in general. And the comic book stores that carry older comics from the 70s, golden age, stuff like that is kind of a lost art in a way of speaking. So
do you notice that you guys get more foot traffic whenever there's a new Marvel's movie that comes out?
You would think, but the only one I've noticed where we had more foot traffic was for Guardians of the Galaxy because people did not know who they were. I expect we'll get a little more foot traffic when Ant-Man comes out, things like that, just because people are trying to discover who those characters are and things like that. But the more common characters like Captain America, Iron Man, if they weren't really into comics before, they didn't really come and get stuff. Some did, but it wasn't as big of an influx of people coming in that I thought it would be. So you have your fans that really like the movies and don't care for the comics that much, or you have the people who like both, or you have the guys who like the comics, don't really care for the movies. So
behind us, it looks to me, and I'm no comic book enthusiast, but a lot of these look vintage. Or you have modern ones too? Do they still make the modern comic books? Because a lot of these look like they've been around for a while.
Well, actually, there are some up there that are within the last year that have come out. And then there are some up there from as far as the 50s and 60s. But yeah, the new comics come out every week on Wednesday. Just like how CDs have a release date and things like that. Your new movies are coming out on Tuesday or whatever. Well, comic books is always on Wednesday.
Is it the same series on Wednesday, or is it once a month on Wednesday?
Most titles are once a month. There's various different titles. There's so many different comic book companies, more than what people just know about. Most people just know about Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
But there's Image, which is an independent comic book company that was famous for some of their superhero characters that they created on their own and some of their original stories. The Walking Dead, which is very popular, is actually an Image comic. So that lets you know that there is a fan base outside of Marvel and DC. Dark Horse Comics was very famous for doing Star Wars comics up until recently when Marvel got the licensing back for the Star Wars stuff.
So do you guys, I noticed that you guys had a comic book convention here not too long ago.
Yes.
Did you guys play a big part of that?
Yeah, there are 3 big conventions in Dallas every year, and we always try to go, it's our backyard, so we always try to go big. We do anywhere from 14 to 16 tables. Our booths at the show, and we have almost as much stuff as you can find in the store we have at the conventions.
So do you pack up the whole store?
No, actually, very little of the store actually goes to the convention.
Really?
We have a warehouse full, and we have a convention stock of items that we take because we do conventions all across the country. Now, we don't do as big as setups at the shows we go to travel to as we do at the Dallas shows, just because of the time it takes to set up and everything and drive out there and everything. It's just not logistically possible. But we, like I said, all over the country. We've got one in Kansas City coming up. We'll do. We did one in New Orleans in January. We were just in Phoenix this past weekend. You know, so all over the country we go.
So where can people find out about the next comic book event that you guys are going to be at? You said one in Kansas City. I'm from Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not sure when the Kansas City one is. That I usually stay at the store, so I don't really go to the conventions, which I'm okay with. You know, I enjoy working in the store. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy seeing familiar faces every week. You know, I like to call this the comic book cheers. You know, so.
So if this is comic book cheers, then who is Chef? Is he Norm or
Oh,
is he
he
Cliff?
is definitely Norm. Well, no, you know what? Cliff might be a better.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, yeah. But we have our Facebook. That's what we update regularly. We post events and things like that. Anything we're doing, we'll post the stuff for the shows that we've got coming up and everything like that. Our website is currently kind of under construction, so we're still working on that.
It's still alive, Duncanville
It's still live, but it's very dated, and some of the stuff doesn't work on it like it should. So we're in the process of getting that fixed. We're hoping within by May that it'll be live in the way we want it, where it'll be a more informational page where we can post when we're going to shows and things like that.
But
so we have a second.
then, you guys on
Facebook is the best page.
Okay,
Yeah, just Duncanville Bookstore.
Duncanville Bookstore. Okay. Well, thank you, Bryan,
No
for
problem. Thank you.
sitting down and talking to me, and again allowing us to take up the space, you and Andy, and we'll promise to leave everything exactly as we found it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Okay, that's it, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good day.